Hey, lovely soul. You can feel it, can't you? That pull that refuses to fade no matter how much time passes. It's magnetic, beautiful, and almost unbearable. One part of you wants to surrender completely, and the other part wants to run for air. That's the paradox of twin flame love. It's the most divine connection the soul can experience, but it unfolds through the most human emotions imaginable. This love isn't here to comfort you. It's here to transform you. It doesn't arrive to give you peace. It arrives to show you what still blocks peace from existing within you. Every trigger, every silence, every misunderstanding is not a punishment, but a revelation. The twin flame connection shines a light so bright that it exposes every shadow you've ever tried to hide. It forces both the feminine and the masculine to see where love was conditional, where attachment replaced trust, and where fear disguised itself as control. That's why it feels so difficult, because divine love doesn't fit inside human limitation. Your souls recognize eternity, but your human selves are still learning how to hold it. And that tension between the infinite and the fragile is what you're feeling. The pain is not rejection, it's expansion. It's your heart stretching into the size of your soul. The feminine often feels it first. Her intuition awakens, her emotions deepen, her body reacts to energy she can't explain. She feels the connection in every heartbeat, every thought, every moment of silence. And when the masculine retreats, it feels like she's being abandoned. But in truth, he's not leaving her. He's being pulled into his own awakening. He runs not from her light, but from the parts of himself that can't yet stand in it. The masculine feels this love too, just differently. For him, it's confrontation, a battle between heart and ego. He tries to stay logical, detached, safe, but the connection keeps haunting him, reminding him of something he can't escape: the truth. And the more he resists, the louder the universe becomes, until even his silence feels like noise. It's in that breaking point where transformation begins, where avoidance turns into awareness. Both are being refined through the same fire. She learns surrender. He learns courage. She learns to hold love without needing to control it. And he learns to show love without fearing it will destroy him. Together, they mirror the divine balance, not through perfection, but through truth. The reason this love feels so difficult is because it demands authenticity. It won't allow lies, masks, or half-healed hearts. It will keep pressing, triggering, and unfolding until both souls stand naked in front of each other, not physically, but spiritually, because twin flame love was never about romance. It was about remembrance. It was about awakening the part of you that knows how to love without condition, without possession, without fear. Every separation, every silence, every breakdown is sacred. It's the universe removing what cannot survive divine union. The chaos you feel is not destruction, it's purification. And once the fire burns through everything false, what remains is the truth that this love was never meant to be easy. It was meant to be eternal. So if you feel the heaviness right now, if the distance feels unbearable, remember this. The difficulty isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something holy is unfolding. The pain is proof that your soul is remembering what love truly is. And the reason it hurts so much is because it's real. This is the sacred paradox of twin flame love. It breaks you open only to rebuild you in divine alignment. It challenges you until love becomes your natural state. It takes everything away that isn't truth, so that all that's left is everything that always was. The love between twin flames is difficult for one reason only, because it's not just human love, it's the universe loving itself through you. Why twin flame love feels so intense. From the very first moment, you knew this connection was different. It didn't arrive like ordinary love. It arrived like recognition, like remembering someone you never met, but somehow always knew. It wasn't just chemistry, it was cosmic memory. Your soul didn't fall in love, it remembered love. That's why it feels so intense. Because it's not just two people meeting, it's two universes colliding. Every lifetime, every unhealed story, every fragment of your evolution meets in one sacred moment. And your body, your end, your heart can barely hold it. This love doesn't follow human logic because it was never meant to. It's the kind of love that doesn't just fill you, it activates you. You start feeling everything stronger: emotions, signs, energy. The entire world begins to speak in symbols. Music, numbers, dreams, even strangers begin reflecting back. Messages that feel like they were written only for you. You can't explain it to anyone because it doesn't make sense, and that's how you know it's divine. This connection doesn't obey the laws of time or space. It's a vibration that lives between worlds, where souls communicate long before words exist. But the same energy that awakens also destabilizes. Because when the light of truth shines that bright, it illuminates everything, including the shadows. The twin flame love brings not only joy and comfort, but exposure. It shows you every wound you thought you'd healed. Every wall you built to stay safe starts to crumble. Every illusion of control begins to dissolve. You don't just love them, you see yourself through them. And that's what makes this love so powerful and so terrifying. It's not about possession, it's about purification. You don't meet your twin flame to complete you. You meet them to collapse everything that isn't you. They are the mirror that reflects your highest self and your deepest fears at the same time. That's why the intensity feels divine one moment and unbearable the next. 1 second, it feels like heaven, the next like heartbreak. But both are sacred, because both are truth. The feminine often feels this intensity as emotional overflow. Her intuition heightens, her empathy expands, her heart opens so wide it aches. She can sense what he feels even from miles away. Every silence feels louder. Every small gesture vibrates with meaning. Her love becomes multidimensional. It lives beyond the physical. And yet, that sensitivity is not weakness, it's power. She is the one who feels first because she is the one who anchors the field. The masculine, however, experiences intensity as confusion. He feels the same energy, but it hits him differently. It breaks his logic, his structure, his control. He tries to reason with what cannot be reasoned. He doesn't understand why he can't shake the connection, why her energy follows him in thoughts and dreams. And because he doesn't know how to feel as deeply as she does, he often mistakes the activation for pressure, and pressure leads him to retreat. That's why twin flame love feels like a paradox. One runs while the other reaches. One feels too much, while the other tries to feel nothing. But the truth is, both are feeling everything. They are processing the same frequency from opposite ends of the spectrum. He learns through distance. She learns through surrender. He runs to avoid pain. She stays to transmute it. And through that dance, both evolve. The intensity isn't a curse. It's the initiation. It's the soul remembering its divine counterpart and realizing that nothing will ever be the same. You can't go back to sleep after you've recognized yourself in another. You can't unfeel what your soul has confirmed. That's why twin flame love changes everything it touches, because it doesn't come to decorate your life. It comes to redefine it. This connection burns through lifetimes of patterns. It demands honesty, humility, surrender. It strips you of every false identity until only truth remains. That's the real reason it's so intense. because it's love in its purest form, and purity burns. It melts resistance. It dissolves ego. It leaves you naked before God. And yet, through all the chaos, one thing remains constant: the knowing, the quiet certainty that no matter what happens, no matter how far apart you go, the bond cannot be broken, because it was never built on circumstance. It was written in eternity. That's why it hurts. That's why it heals. That's why it changes you. Because this isn't love designed to stay comfortable. It's love designed to awaken. If twin flame love were meant to be simple, it would never awaken you. This connection was never designed for comfort. It was designed for evolution. It's the soul's most sacred contract with itself, to meet its own reflection, to love it, and to rise through it. And that's why it hurts so deeply. Because the human self fights everything the soul has already agreed to. The difficulty you feel is not random. It's divine architecture. Every heartbreak, every silence, every cycle that repeats is not failure. It's a spiritual mechanism carefully designed to remove illusion. It teaches the feminine and the masculine what love truly means: not attachment, not control, not dependency, but union through wholeness. At the core of the twin flame journey lies a paradox. You meet someone who mirrors everything you've ever wanted, and in doing so, they expose everything that still separates you from it. The love that feels like destiny also feels like destruction, because it burns through anything that's not aligned with truth. The purpose is purification, not punishment. The feminine often asks, why does it have to be this hard if it's divine? The answer is simple. Divinity is not fragile. It doesn't break under pressure. It refines under it. This connection pushes you to the edge of surrender, because only there can your ego dissolve enough for your higher self to emerge. Every time you let go of control, the universe rearranges what you thought was lost. Every time you choose faith over fear, the energy between you harmonizes a little more. The masculine experiences this differently. For him, the pressure is internal, a constant collision between logic and intuition. He feels the connection even when he denies it, senses her energy even when he avoids her, dreams of her even when he tries to forget. It's not weakness, it's awakening. But before he can fully own, he must confront everything that keeps him closed. The fear of failure, of vulnerability, of losing control. The difficulty is the divine way of breaking his resistance to love. Twin flame love is not meant to reward your readiness. It's meant to create it. It's the spiritual furnace where the old self burns so the real one can emerge. The pain is not proof that something is wrong. It's proof that transformation is happening. The connection triggers your deepest wounds because that's where your soul hid its greatest power. Only by facing them can you reclaim it. The universe uses this connection as a mirror. Every emotion, every delay, every longing is feedback. It shows you where you are still out of alignment with your highest truth. When you crave control, the universe sends separation. When you cling, it teaches release. When you try to force outcomes, it demands surrender. Because this journey is not about union at any cost. It's about awakening at all costs. That's the real spiritual purpose, to make you conscious, to awaken divine love within you before it can ever manifest around you. You can't experience true union until you embody true alignment. The other person doesn't complete you. They reveal you. They show you what you are when you love without defense. They mirror both your light and your limits until you learn how to love without needing to be right, safe, or in control. The feminine learns patience through faith. The masculine learns action through truth. Both are being sculpted into balance, two halves of one soul learning to walk as equals under divine order. That's why this journey is so sacred. It's not about chasing love. It's about remembering that you are love. When you start to see the pain as purpose, the suffering transforms into sacred initiation. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin to whisper, "What is this teaching me?" And that's the shift where everything begins to change. Because what once felt like punishment becomes prophecy. The storms become teachers, the silence becomes guidance, and the distance becomes design. The spiritual purpose behind the difficulty is this: to make you so aligned with unconditional love that you no longer need anything outside yourself to feel whole. And in that wholeness, the connection finally finds peace. Not because you chased it, but because you became it. This is the divine secret that every awakened twin flame eventually learns. What makes this love so difficult is exactly what makes it divine. How pain becomes the path to awakening. Pain is the sacred teacher of this connection. It's the one language the ego cannot ignore and the soul cannot resist. On the twin flame journey, pain isn't punishment, it's initiation. It's the sound of your soul breaking out of the illusion that love was ever meant to be easy. Every twin flame experiences the moment when love turns into longing, when the warmth that once felt like home becomes the ache of distance. But the pain that follows separation isn't a sign that something went wrong. It's the divine hand carving out space inside you for something higher to live. You are being hollowed so that love can echo louder than fear ever did. In ordinary love, pain usually means something is ending. In divine love, pain means something is beginning. Because pain is what pulls truth from the depths of your being. It tears down the false layers that you built to survive and forces you to feel what you were never taught to face. It shows you where you mistook attachment for connection and where you gave power away in the name of care. It strips everything until all that remains is essence, raw, pure, unguarded essence. The divine feminine often carries this initiation first. She feels the pain as emotional fire, waves of intensity that rise and fall without logic. It feels like breaking, but what's truly breaking is the shell around her heart. Each tear she sheds is a code being rewritten, a frequency being released. Her body becomes the temple where alchemy happens. She transforms grief into gold, silence into strength, and absence into awareness. She doesn't just survive her heartbreak, she transcends through it. Meanwhile, the divine masculine is learning the same lesson from the other side. He doesn't cry the same tears, but his awakening cuts just as deep. For him, pain manifests as pressure, a spiritual weight that crushes his defense until he can no longer hide behind control. He resists at first, calling it confusion or failure, but over time, the some silence he once used to avoid emotion becomes his mirror. It reflects his emptiness back to him, showing that avoidance isn't peace, it's paralysis. And only when that illusion collapses does he finally start to feel. Pain is the bridge between their worlds. It's what unites them when words and presence cannot. It speaks through dreams, synchronicities, songs, little reminders from the universe that love never disappeared. It simply went underground to grow roots. The ache is proof that the energy is still alive, that the connection didn't die, it's being refined. When you stop fighting pain and start listening to it, something miraculous happens. It begins to change shape. What once felt unbearable starts to feel sacred. You realize the pain isn't here to destroy you. It's here to dismantle what you were never meant to be. The fear, the codependency, the need for validation, all of it burns away in the fire of divine love. And when the smoke clears, what remains is presence, a stillness that no longer depends on another person to exist. This is where awakening begins. When you stop asking, "Why me?" and start whispering, "Thank you. Thank you for showing me what I still needed to heal. Thank you for breaking what was never built on truth. Thank you for teaching me that love is not possession, it's permission. Permission to grow, to expand, to evolve. Pain becomes the path when you let it guide instead of define you. Because the twin flame journey is not about finding someone who completes you. It's about remembering that you were never incomplete. The connection triggers pain only to reveal the parts of you still asking to be loved. Once you give that love to yourself, the mirror between you softens. The energy shifts from chaos to coherence, from longing to knowing. The truth is simple, yet hard to accept. Pain was never your enemy. It was your initiation into divine awareness. It was the portal that opened the moment you stopped resisting and started trusting. Every heartbreak was a sacred rehearsal for reunion, not with them, but with yourself. And when you reunite with your own soul, you automatically align with everything that vibrates in truth. That's when the energy of union begins to manifest naturally. Not because you chased it, but because you became it. So the next time the ache rises, remember, it's not here to destroy your hope. It's here to deepen it. Pain is not proof of distance. It's evidence of transformation. And once you've learned what it came to teach, it will no longer feel like suffering. It will feel like freedom. Because on this path, pain is not an opposite of love. It is love in disguise. In every twin flame connection, there comes a moment when the love begins to reflect more than it gives. What once felt like a safe mirror of affection turns into a sacred mirror of pain. This is not a sign that the connection is failing. It's proof that the deeper work has begun. Because twin flames were never meant to mirror each other's beauty alone. They were destined to reveal each other's wounds. Every trigger between them has a divine purpose. Every argument, every silence, every misunderstanding is a reflection of what still remains unhealed within. The feminine's tears echo the masculine's emotional repression. The masculine's distance mirrors the feminine's fear of abandonment. They are not enemies in this process. They are each other's catalysts. The divine feminine carries the frequency of emotional truth. She feels everything, even the things left unsaid. When he closes off, she feels it in her bones. When he suppresses, she absorbs. And when she reaches out for reassurance, it's not desperation. It's her heart begging for reflection. But this is where the alchemy happens. When she learns that the comfort she seeks in him is actually the comfort she must create within herself, Her healing begins when she realizes that she can feel deeply without being consumed, that she can hold love without losing her center. The divine masculine, on the other hand, holds the frequency of grounded action. He was taught that vulnerability equals weakness, that strength means silence. But when he meets her, those walls begin to crack. Her emotional depth threatens the structure of his carefully constructed world. She doesn't just awaken his love, she awakens his suppressed self. And for a time, that feels unbearable. He runs not because he doesn't care, but because he's never been taught how to stay in a fire that purifies rather than destroys. When the feminine cries for connection, the masculine feels pressure. When the masculine withdraws for clarity, the feminine feels rejection. But both are mirrors, one reflecting the fear of being too much, the other reflecting the fear of not being enough. They chase and retreat, push and pull, until both realize they are not fighting each other. They are fighting their own reflection. The beauty of this stage lies in the recognition that every emotional reaction is an invitation. When she feels abandoned, the universe is teaching her to become her own home. When he feels trapped, the universe is teaching him that freedom isn't found in escape, but in truth. Through their contrast, they balance. Through their reflection, they rise. The feminine learns discernment, that love doesn't mean losing boundaries. The masculine learns vulnerability, that power doesn't mean avoiding emotion. And in that sacred exchange, the energy begins to harmonize. The more she grounds her emotion, the more he opens his heart. The more he shows up in authenticity, the safer she feels to surrender. This is how divine polarity heals itself, not through chasing or control, but through balance. You cannot heal your counterpart by changing them. You heal them by healing what they mirror within you. Because twin flames don't evolve through persuasion, they evolve through resonance. As one rises, the other is pulled into the same frequency. And that's why every act of self-love, every boundary held, every tear released in peace becomes a silent transmission of healing across your shared soul. Eventually, both begin to see that their wounds were never personal. They were portals, gateways into deeper truth, deeper compassion, deeper unity. The feminine realizes that she was never meant to carry both sides of the connection. She was meant to embody love so fully that it inspires the masculine to rise into it. The masculine realizes that avoiding pain was never protection. It was postponement of purpose. And when both finally surrender to what the mirror shows, healing becomes inevitable. This is the turning point where opposition turns into alignment, where the mirror no longer reflects pain but potential, where the connection shifts from triggering wounds to activating wisdom, because what began as a battlefield becomes a sanctuary, and what once hurt the most becomes the very thing that heals. The masculine and feminine mirror each other so that love can remember itself, not as perfection, but as presence. They don't meet to fix each other, but to awaken the part of each that still remembers what it feels like to be whole. Why distance and silence are sacred tools. Every twin flame eventually faces the same paradox. How can two souls that feel so deeply connected be kept so far apart? Why would the universe bring such powerful love into your life only to cloak it in silence? It feels cruel, senseless, unfair, until you realize that distance and silence are not punishments. They are tools, divine instruments crafted to awaken both counterparts in ways closeness never could. The human self sees distance as loss. The soul sees it as alignment, because when two energies carry imbalance, proximity amplifies chaos. The separation isn't a wall, it's a recalibration chamber. The silence isn't absence, it's a sacred classroom. This is where each soul learns to hear its own frequency again. The divine feminine feels the weight of this most profoundly. She's the one who reaches, who senses, who remembers. When he pulls away, she feels every inch of the energetic gap, like an echo in her bones. But the universe allows this space not to break her, but to rebuild her. It teaches her to distinguish between connection and attachment, between intuition and obsession, between love that frees and love that fears. She learns that chasing energy only drains her power, that silence is not rejection, it's an invitation to listen to herself, that the void she feels is actually fertile ground, where her intuition deepens and her self-worth roots. She stops asking, "Why is he gone?" and begins asking, "What is this silence showing me about myself?" That's when transformation begins, because silence becomes sacred once it stops being feared. Meanwhile, the divine masculine experiences the same silence as pressure. He needs the distance to face himself without the distraction of her light. When she steps back, he's forced to sit in the echo of what he's avoided: his truth, his feelings, his shadows. The quiet becomes deafening. He starts hearing the voice he buried under logic, success, and survival, and that voice, his soul, begins to speak louder than fear. This is why silence works miracles the mind can't. It creates a vacuum where the noise of ego finally fades. It strips away illusion until only authenticity remains. Without silence, neither could find balance. Because union cannot bloom from codependency, it requires two souls standing whole, not half. Distance teaches the feminine how to hold energy without control. It teaches the masculine how to feel emotion without running. And though both may ache in the process, what they're really doing is learning spiritual maturity, the kind of love that doesn't collapse when it's not being validated. Love that exists even when it's not being spoken. The universe uses distance to remove interference. Every external distraction, karmic tie, or energetic dependency that doesn't align with truth begins to dissolve. It isolates both souls, not for loneliness, but for clarity, because separation doesn't destroy the connection, it purifies it. The stillness between them becomes a temple where divine timing is forged. In this quiet, the feminine rediscovers her sovereignty. She remembers that her light was never meant to be dimmed, waiting for someone to see it. She embodies love not to attract him, but because she is it. And that embodiment calls him home more powerfully than any words could. Her stillness becomes magnetic. Her peace becomes prayer. Her energy becomes guidance. The masculine, on his side, learns that silence doesn't protect him, it exposes him. The more he hides, the more he feels her absence echo through his life. He begins to realize that the silence he created was never a shield. It was a mirror. It reflects back everything he's avoided until the discomfort becomes unbearable and authenticity becomes his only escape. That's when he begins to awaken. Distance and silence don't separate twin flames. They synchronize them. They stretch each soul just enough for expansion, but never enough to break. The thread that connects them only grows stronger, finer, more luminous with each surrender. And when the time comes for communication to return, it's no longer driven by need, but by truth. So if you're in silence right now, don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Listen. This is the language of God, the space where alignment takes shape. You are not being forgotten. You are being fine-tuned. The silence is teaching you to trust vibration over validation, to know that what's real doesn't need constant proof. It just is. Because in the twin flame journey, silence isn't the end of communication. It's the evolution of it. It's the universe whispering, when you can love without hearing, when you can feel without touching, when you can trust without seeing, that's when union becomes inevitable. Every twin flame journey reaches a breaking point, a sacred moment when pain no longer destroys but transforms. It's the moment when the feminine stops begging the wound to close and instead begins to listen to what it's teaching. It's when the masculine realizes that running from emotion was never protection, it was self-abandonment. This is where pain becomes the most powerful alchemist of all. Pain, at its core, is trapped energy. It's emotion frozen in the body, waiting to be acknowledged, witnessed, released. When you stop resisting it, it turns into power. It turns into clarity. It becomes the very force that propels you out of fear and into presence. The divine feminine learns this through surrender. For so long, she gave her power away, waiting for him to see her, to choose her, to return. But eventually, the ache becomes too sacred to waste. She realizes the longing was never about him. It was about her own soul asking to be reclaimed. The same tears that once symbolized weakness now become initiation. They cleanse her vision until she can finally see herself again, radiant, grounded, divine. This is when her energy shifts. She stops vibrating from need and begins to vibrate from knowing. She no longer asks for union to complete her. She embodies union within herself. That embodiment changes everything. Because when the feminine no longer seeks energy outside of her, she becomes the source. And the masculine, even from afar, feels that frequency like gravity. The divine masculine's transformation comes through confrontation. Pain humbles him. Every silence, every separation, every choice made out of fear eventually collapses. He begins to see how his avoidance cost him peace. And in the quiet aftermath, he feels the full weight of love, not as comfort, but as truth. He learns that real strength isn't the ability to hide emotion, but the courage to stand inside it. That presence isn't about control. It's about vulnerability. When the masculine begins to feel instead of flee, and the feminine begins to hold instead of chase, the polarity finds equilibrium. The same pain that once kept them apart now becomes the bridge that connects them through understanding. She forgives not because he asked, but because peace has become her nature. He rises not because she waited, but because her energy called him forward. Pain, then, becomes the path to empowerment, a holy exchange between suffering and sovereignty. It dismantles every illusion that love must come from outside. It teaches both souls that the divine union they seek is not a future event, but a present state of consciousness. It's when you stop seeking comfort and start creating it. When you stop asking for signs and start becoming one, presence is what emerges after the purge. It's the calm that doesn't depend on reassurance, the peace that doesn't vanish when tested. It's the moment you realize that nothing external can threaten what was built in truth. That's when love stops being fragile, because it no longer depends on circumstance. To turn pain into power, you must stop asking, "When will this end?" and start asking, "What is this birthing?" Because every contraction of the soul is followed by expansion. Every tear shed in faith plants a seed of clarity. Every silence honored becomes a doorway to revelation. Pain was never the enemy. It was the midwife of awakening. It pushed you into your true form, stripping away the identities that love could never live inside. And once you accept that, pain loses its sting. It becomes gratitude, the kind that glows quietly in the heart. You begin to understand that love was never supposed to be painless. It was supposed to be pure, and purity often burns before it blesses. So when you look back, you'll see it clearly. Every heartbreak, every tear, every lonely night was sacred ground. Because without the breaking, there could be no becoming. And without the pain, you would have never learned how powerful presence truly is. This is how twin flames rise through the fire into freedom, through pain into power, through loss into love. At the end of every twin flame journey, there comes a moment of revelation, not through words, not through reunion, but through understanding. The kind of understanding that silences the chaos and replaces every why with peace. It's the moment you finally realize love was never what hurt you. Fear was. Love, in its purest form, has always been constant. It never disappeared, never abandoned, never betrayed. What caused the pain was the human attempt to hold something infinite with hands still trembling from the past. The separation, the confusion, the silence, they were never love's fault. They were fear's shadow trying to masquerade as protection. Fear told the feminine she wasn't enough. It whispered that she needed to prove her worth through waiting, effort, sacrifice. It told her that silence meant rejection and that love must be earned through suffering. But love was never asking her to chase. It was asking her to trust. The moment she stopped running toward him and turned inward toward her own soul, she realized she had never been abandoned. She had been redirected back to herself, back to source, back to truth. Fear told the masculine that emotion was danger, that to open his heart was to lose control, that to love deeply was to risk destruction. And so he built walls, convincing himself that distance meant safety. But love was never trying to destroy him. It was trying to awaken him. It was calling him out of survival and into surrender. Only when fear exhausted him did he finally hear what love had been saying all along. You were safe the moment you stopped pretending you weren't. This is the divine irony of the twin flame path, that both run from the very thing they were born to embody. She runs from abandonment. He runs from vulnerability. But the truth is, neither was ever running from the other. They were running from themselves, from the ports still trembling with fear, shame, or pain. And love, patient as eternity itself, simply waited. Fear was the architect of the illusion of separation. It built timelines, stories, and labels around love to make it small enough to manage. But love was never meant to be managed. It was meant to be lived. And the moment you stop trying to define it, it starts to define you. This is the wisdom of the final chapter. You were never here to chase union. You were here to dissolve the fear that made you believe you were incomplete. Union is not an event, it's an energy, the natural result of truth replacing illusion. When both counterparts surrender fear, union becomes inevitable. The feminine rises not because she is stronger, but because she chooses faith when fear tempts her to fall. The masculine awakens not because he is pressured, but because love becomes louder than his resistance. And when both finally meet in vibration, not in desperation, but in peace, the cycle ends. Not because love was found, but because it was finally remembered. That's what this entire journey has been about. Remembrance. Remembering that love was never gone. That even in silence, it was speaking. That even in distance, it was working. That even in heartbreak, it was healing. Fear created the illusion of separation. Love dissolves it. Fear said, "You're losing them." Love says, "You're finding yourself." Fear said, "It's over." Love whispers, "It's becoming." And once you hear that whisper, really hear it, you can never unhear it again. The need to control fades. The anxiety softens. The ache transforms into gratitude, because you finally see that everything, every delay, every silence, every painful ending was divinely intentional. The truth is, you were never waiting for them to return. You were waiting for yourself to awaken. And now that you have, the love you carry within is no longer fragile. It's eternal. So take a deep breath. Let the story rest let fear fall away, because the lesson has been learned, the cycle has been completed, and love, the real kind, the infinite kind, is all that remains. Love was never the problem. It was the purpose. It was the force that broke you open only to show you that you were never broken at all. And now you stand not as the seeker of love, but as the embodiment of it, because in the end, the journey was never about finding your twin flame. It was about becoming the flame itself.